Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
After the arrest of the protesters, everybody is asking questions. And today, Philimon has also joined the people asking questions why they should arrest the protesters. And he asks Nana that during his time that he carried out the Kumipreko, which was even dangerous than this time, who arrested him? And he asks a lot of questions and also elaborate on the law, interpret it into detail, which I want you to join me listening to him on what he said. He also asked Ghanaians or plead with Ghanaians to vote them out because they are endangered species to our peace, which I abide by him because they are too notorious. The MP people, after begging us to try them, Nana begging us to try them. I think he has an agenda why he begs us to try them, because what he's doing is like somebody a lion who is hungry and trapped in the forest, and after begging a hunter to rescue him, he now tends to devour the beggar. Such is the action I see in Nana Addo. Please, without much waste of time, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. This station still remains PENDREAM TV. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you have any grievances, please, you can channel it to our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777, or leave a comment at our comment section. We will read it and make amendment to it. Thank you.
Currently, there's a protest ongoing against government's repression and, of course, against illegal mining in Galamsey. That is, I think it was somewhere last week that the Stopgalam Protest started, and the police arrested some people or some persons and took them to court immediately. They were remanded for 2 weeks. They were denied bail as well. People have made the argument that even for very serious crimes like murder, it's even still bailable. Courtesy, Martin Pebu. I'm going to be starting this conversation with you, Philimon. Let's first look at the legal angle of this. I don't know if the Ghana Police Service arrested any more persons yesterday. I'm not aware of that, but let's focus on what happened last week and the fact that these people have been denied bail. I mean, people are also very suspicious of the fact that each and every person that was arrested is being remanded for 2 weeks in different courts. So how could the judges, be so uniform in their thoughts, and then decide that, look, you go for 2 weeks, you go for 2 weeks, you go for 2 weeks. Let me start this conversation with you, Philimon.
I'll start with the Supreme Law of the Land. And when you look at Article 19 of the Constitution, it gives several liberties that are enjoyed by the citizens. It includes the fact that everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty. It includes the fact that when you are going to be arrested by the police, you must be told in a language you understand the reason for the arrest. You must be extended courtesies, like the right to counsel of your choice. Right to counsel of your choice. Counsel here means lawyer. In the event that you do not have the means to get a lawyer of your choice, the state is further enjoined to provide a lawyer for you, to mount a defense before court. Those are constitutional provisions. There's also Section 96 of the Criminal Procedure Act 1960, which says that offenses are bailable, but subject to the discretion of the court. So Martin Pebu famously took this matter to the Supreme Court. He mounted a heavy challenge of the provisions of Article 19 connected to Section 96 of the Criminal Procedure Act 30. And the Supreme Court agreed with Martin Pebu. The Supreme Court's position is that, look, Martin Pebu got three different ones. So one is on the 48-hour rule. The 48-hour rule is that you cannot hold anyone, incarcerate anyone in police custody for more than 48 hours without presenting the person before a court. You get the point? So the police has a maximum of 48. In the particular case of the protesters, we know that some of them were kept for more than 48 hours. Some of them were kept in police custody for more than 48 hours in clear breach to what the law says. That's number one. On the issue of bail, the Supreme Court said that all offenses are bailable. All offenses are bailable. And it's important for us to categorize the kinds of offenses that the law prescribes. We have something called misdemeanors. We have something called felonies. And even under felonies, we have first-degree felonies and we have second-degree felonies, which describes the degree of intensity of both crimes. What it essentially means is that felonies are higher crimes, and misdemeanors are lower crimes, lesser crimes, crimes that are not really big things. The practice is that the Attorney General's offices, under Article 88 of the Constitution, has been given all the prosecutorial powers of state. That means that if the state is going to prosecute, take anyone to court, it is the office of the Attorney General that does that. That is a matter of law under Article 88 of the Constitution. The Attorney General's offices is not only an Attorney General, it is also a Ministry of Justice. And by virtue of being a Ministry of Justice, they have an overarching responsibility to ensure that justice is meted out to all manner of persons without regard to your tribe or your political leaning or your offense or whatever they are charging against you. Whatever it is, they have a duty to ensure that you are meted out justice. You get a dual role of the Attorney General, Ministry of Justice, and also Attorney General. I am part of the lawyers representing the protesters, 50-something of them in total. When they were arrested, I was part of those who went around all the police stations in Accra. First of all, the police breached that requirement that you must be told in a language you understand the reason for your arrest. Most, if not all of them, were not told why they were arrested. They were just arrested and sent, locked all across Accra. Number two, they were not given the right to counsel. In fact, most of the police stations we went to, the police told us they will not tell us who and who they have there. I can mention Tesano police station as an example. Yes, here. We went there and they said, we will not tell you who we have in our custody. And when we asked why, they said, oh, Charlie, it's order from above. Oh. That's what they told us. Order from above told the police not to allow them to enjoy, to conference with their lawyers, so we can advise them on what the next steps are, to understand their side of the story and mount a defense for them. That is what the police did. Is that fair, my brother? Is that how to treat the citizens of your country? Aside that, so the lawyers, we put in a lot of work. Legwork, went around all the police stations. We had to collect our own list. It took us writing to the IGP, asking the IGP to provide us a list of all those arrested and which particular police stations they'd been sent to. The IGP did not respond. It took the intervention of Amnesty International. Amnesty International. That's how bad we've been embarrassed in global proportions. In global proportions, for an international organization like Amnesty International to write to you that you are breaching the rights of citizens, you must make available to them the right to counsel. Their families must know where they are. Are we in a banana republic? Are we in a police state where you just arrest someone, take the person somewhere, and nobody knows where the person is? How the person? And look, some of the protesters have given us direct feedback that they were not fed by the police. Again, in clear breach of what the Supreme Court has said. When you arrest someone, you have a duty. You must feed the person. You must feed. The police did not do that. So all in all, there's been like a whole conundrum of failure, of incompetence by the police. And in all of this, they said that they were ordered from above. Let me end with this. I mentioned that under Article 88 of the Constitution, prosecutorial powers are with the Attorney General. Fact. But the practice is that you've seen all the reports done by the Attorney General's office is understaffed. They don't have enough lawyers. The office of the Attorney General does not have lawyers even in Northeast and all around. They don't have enough lawyers. OT, they don't have lawyers everywhere. It's only Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi that they have quite a substantial number. You go to the interior, Upper East, you go and see just like 4 or 5 lawyers. How are they able to prosecute? So what the Attorney General's department, over the years, their practice is that they have outsourced prosecution to the police. So the police prosecutes in lower courts, like in the district courts, like in the circuit courts. On misdemeanors, the police are the ones who prosecute the matter. So no one expects that the Attorney General would send lawyers to the circuit court to represent the state on misdemeanors. And I'm saying misdemeanors are small crimes as prescribed by the law. But in this particular case, it took the Attorney General's office to send lawyers there. Another curious thing, when you're moving a bail application in court to ask the court to grant your client bail, there are a number of omnibus statements you must make to the court who show that your client is willing to cooperate with the police, your client to avail himself for trial if there's a need, your client is not a flight risk, your client is a responsible member of society, and perhaps it's a first-time offender or a first-time brush of the law. You state all of these grounds. We stated all of these grounds. Now, when the lawyer for the defense makes his case, the judge will listen to the lawyer for the republic, which in most cases is the police. But in this case, it was lawyers from the Attorney General. And usually, because all offenses are bailable, once the police, they are satisfied that, oh, this person is even a small crime, it's not any serious matter. He hasn't raped anybody. They've not stolen. They've not committed any act of treason. They have not done armed robbery. They have not murdered, manslaughter. They haven't done any of the serious offenses. So usually the prosecution will just say, well, to the extent that the person is willing to cooperate with the police, we have no objection. That's the practice. That is the practice. But in this case, Attorney General's lawyers come. And mind you, when lawyers from Attorney General come, they act on instructions of the Attorney General. So that means the Attorney General told them directly, when you go, object to the bail application by lawyers for the protesters. And they did that. They told the court that we object. We object to any grant of bail.
On what basis?
They just said they object. And the court, in fact, in some of the courts, it was quite interesting what happened in the courts.
Well, I'm hearing that one of the reasons for which they were denied bail is that there was no assurance or there was no surety that these people would be reached or found when it was time again for them to appear in court. And
that is not correct. That is absolutely not correct. In the case of, let's mention names. Felicity Nelson, me, I know her personally. I know her family. Very respectable family, decent family. If I mention her father to you, I mean, like very decent people. Don't you see on Facebook? She's like someone, she loves Ghana. We all know her address. She's never had any brush with the law. And those are the things that the court will look out for. Yeah. Has this person committed a crime before or had a brush with the law? So if you've had a number of incidences with the court or with the police, that would be basis for them to say, oh, you've done that before, so I will not allow. But in this case, they have never had a brush with the law. The police has not even presented any evidence to show that you have done A, B, and C. In fact, there are some of them who were just bystanders who were arrested.
I've heard.
You get the point? So these are people with known addresses. They don't even have passports. How much more run out of Ghana? They don't even have the means to run out of Ghana. And at this difficult Ghana? No. There are people that are willing to cooperate with the police. Because, look, someone who has shown courage, competence, bravery to go on the street to protest, when most people were in their houses, is it going to the police station to report or going to court that they'll be scared of? Is it the court that... Look, someone famously said, the court is not a slaughterhouse. No matter what happens, when you go to court, don't cut your head. So that suggestion that they won't find them after all is not correct. And mind, the police also has all the powers and resources. Before they grant anyone bail, you must bring sureties. And the role of a surety is to say that if the person does not present himself, then the surety be held to task. Yeah. And before every surety comes with a Ghana card and all, so they can trace you. Yeah. So what basis do the police say they could have tracked the people? That was the most laziest use. So I think that the fact that all of them were uniformly sentenced to remand for 2 weeks by different judges, different courts, shows that there's something that would have gone on. And let me conclude on this point. I had the Chief Justice, a banter between the Chief Justice and the Attorney General, with the Chief Justice saying that you can't blame the courts on, such issues of people that are before the court. It is the Attorney General. You are the one who prosecutes. And the Attorney General also under Article 88 can file something called a nolle prosequi. Yeah. Nolle prosequi is to go to court and say, my lord, we are not interested in the case again. And the court will not ask any question. The court will free them. If you feel that you still have a case, and you can come back again. So there's no excuse to say that you can put them for 2 weeks and you have nothing to do. You have something to do. Go to the court, file a nolle prosequi, bring them out, and if you have fresh charges, you can label them again, and we are ready to defend them because we believe that these protesters have done something Akuffo Addo and his ministers and government have failed to do. These galamseers have shown bravery to the fight against corruption than Baumia ever can. These are patriotic people we must commend and salute. Thank you, my brother.
Right. Thank you very much, Philimon La. If you are just joining us, this is the newspaper review segment of Good Morning Africa. We are currently discussing the Free the Citizen protest, which is ongoing. It's a 3-day protest. It started yesterday. It's going to be ending. To find out from you, and I mean, not to be prejudicial, but what could happen after the remand period? What is going to happen next?
Two things can happen. One is for the courts to free them, for the police to continue whatever investigation they are. They are not running away. They are manning up to whatever charge they are giving. If we say Felicity Nelson destroyed property, do you have evidence of Felicity? She did not destroy property. If we say Ama Governor, for example, bent a tie, do you have a video of her doing that? If we say that someone, Glenn tore an MPP poster, you don't have videos of that. The man whose wife was in the hospital came out. There's evidence to show that he had come out. 37 is a public space. So if someone goes to charge his phone, do Momo transaction, and is drinking Kubinsu, difficult Ghana. Ghana, so he should have been eating a proper meal. He had to resort to coconut water. We should be ashamed. We should be ashamed about that. We are not a banana republic. We must underscore that. We must underscore that. He, Akuffo Addo, having led Kumipreko in 96, was he arrested and remanded? With all the destruction, the properties they destroyed during that demonstration, was Akuffo Addo, as one of the leaders and organizers, was he arrested and remanded? Was he arrested and remanded? No. So I don't know why there's a certain arrogance of power. We give people power and they come, and this is a man that was begging, try me, please try me. Now we've tried you, and what you are doing to our citizens is that you are being high-handed on them. So it's either the court would grant them bail for the processes to continue, or the Attorney General will file a nolli prosequi. But I think that we can learn something from what happened in the case of the first one, Occupy Jilobi House, part 1, where Oliver again was arrested and all of that. All those guys were arrested. What the police did was that they withdrew all the charges after the remand period. That means that if the police will not even continue with the prosecution, you have punished them unduly by remanding them for 2 weeks. In the name of you have not concluded your investigation, you say whatever your reasons are. But 2 weeks would have expired, and these people have languished in Sawam and several police cells across the capital. Will they be compensated? Akuffo Addo, can you sleep at night? Alhaji Bawumia, if one of these people were your son or daughter, would you be able to sleep at night? Would you be able to? You know the case of someone who is diabetic and asthmatic and had an upset and also has glaucoma. My brother, those are the two options that can happen. But in all of this, there's also a human rights application filed by Francis Xavier Sosu in the High Court. I believe that would come before the set date but he's representing just a section of them. So we see. In the case of Oliver, people have sought to bastardize Oliver. Oliver has taken responsibility for whatever his actions were. They say by taking the key and throwing it to the police, it constitutes stealing. And it's laughable. It's laughable. If you I'm a lawyer, and we all know what the ingredients for stealing is. You must meet a certain threshold to establish that it was stealing. One of the key things you must establish in proving your case that it was stealing is that the person intended to deprive, the menstrual, to deprive the owner of its use. Did Oliver take the key and took it to his house and put under his bed that no one knew he took it? Did Oliver do that? So that charge is faulty, if you ask me. And any lawyer, I believe, will be able to shoot down that. Maybe that's why they brought lawyers from Attorney General, because police, they are like police, would take 1 minute to demolish their case. But whichever lawyers they are bringing for Attorney General, I believe they cannot substantiate. I saw an interesting post on Twitter last night by someone. Let me get it so people can authenticate it. This Twitter person said that as the demonstration was happening yesterday, like the recent demonstration, the police had people reenacting scenes similar to what happened in the Oliver demonstration, basically to make it look like they're gathering fresh evidence they can use as evidence. This is someone who posted on Twitter. I don't know the authenticity, but if that is what the Ghana police is doing, that would be shameful. And they should provide timestamps. There must be timestamps on any video they want to present.
Right. Right. I'll read a few messages. Good morning, blessed. Persons who committed misdemeanor could be released on self-recognizance bail by the court per the law creating the offense. Were the accused persons granted bail and there was no sureties? Was it? What is happening is just the machinations of the government. Whatever goes up definitely comes down. Today, the government in power is happy. Tomorrow, things may change. The IGP is just remote controlled. He should know there were IGPs before he came. Jacob from Damongo. Thank you, Jacob, for your message. Are you a free? Sent this one. He says Akuffo Addo is telling the labor unions to postpone their demonstration. My question is, when is he going to call the labor unions to demonstrate? We should not also trust the leaders of these labor unions, because anytime they call for demonstration and they are called to meet the president, the case ends there. Labor should not stop the planned demonstration. UA3 and Mekuduka said, is the NDC that brought in these galamsees to destroy our waters? So why wouldn't they send the NPP police to arrest them? In the first place, who did these people? They said are NDC galamsees, foreigners even enter Ghana. NPP are wicked-minded. James from Kumasi. All right, thank you, James Mano, for your message. This one here says, bless, galamsey issues is a national pandemic. So therefore, I'll humbly appeal to you to read all messages concerning galamsey for us in the countryside. All right, thank you very much. But this one says, in fact, some people in Ghana are happy for the destruction done to our water bodies and forests and forest reserves. Why so? I saw on one of the TV stations this morning a environmental prayer walk against galamsey. Are we serious at all? These galamsey issues are more dangerous than tsunami, so prayers can't solve anything called galamsey. Nanado is asking organized labor to call off their intended strike. The whole campaign, King Kong leader, captain, major general of all demonstrations in Ghana in the 1990s. All right, thank you so much. Silent Rock inside Binduri in the Upper East region. Thank you for your message. This one here says that, good morning, Pan-African TV. My name is Nasigri Basani from Mamprugu district in the Northeast region. My complaint is that the whole of SO community, there is no access to mobile network. I'm appealing to the Ministry of Communication to turn their good eye to SO community. I want to believe I'm pronouncing the name of the community right. SOO should be SO. Or the whole world is now an information highway, and unfortunately SO is not part of it. From Soran Nasigri family. All right, thank you for your message. Never argue. Okay, all right, thank you so much for your message. Populampo for Kumasi says that, good morning, I'm enjoying the program. It's fantastic. Nanado is a weak president. He's the weakest Ghana has ever had. All right, thank you for your message as well. Organized labor, this is our last chance. Don't give in to the government's empty promises. We, the people, are relying on you to stand up for our rights. Stay strong and focused. We are solidly behind you. Organized labor, don't disappoint Ghanaians. You are standing in for the thousands of Ghanaians. Aigbe from Tamale. Thank you, Aigbe, for your message. Let me go to this one. Good morning, bless. The galamsey issue in the country is as a result of huge unemployment in the country. But how do we solve this unemployment issue? I would like to suggest short-term and long-term solutions to our stakeholders. We need a committed leader, ban all forms of mining, borrow money to fix a few unemployment problems, include all the unemployed on the payroll and pay them, say, 500 Ghana cedis. This will help you get every citizen's data. Blessed time will not allow me, but I have a complete book for the problem. William from Akuffo Addo. Thank you, William, for your message. Let me do this one, which says that, my name is Abbas from Ofinso. The president and his vice president Mahmoud Bawumia have demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that they love votes and money more than the Ghanaian people who voted for them. Now they can't stop galamsey because of money. Again, they can't stop galamsey because they themselves are into it. If this is not a wicked government, then what else constitutes a wicked government? All of us must say no to this kind of bad governance. Okay, thank you for your messages. Right. Still on galamsey though, organized labor, they issued a press statement, I think 2 days ago, that they were going to embark on a sit-down strike. They are going to lay down their tools effective October 10 in protest against illegal mining and the fact that government has been largely lackadaisical in dealing with the issue. Well, they have met with the president, and the president has asked them not to, has begged them not to embark on that strike. I don't know what the position of organized labor will be if they are going to kowtow to the demands of the president and rescind that decision, the decision to embark on a strike come October 10. But in any case, I'm very surprised as far as this story is concerned, and the fact that the president is begging them not to embark on the strike. I mean, you are begging them to let them know that you are going to bring Galamsey to a halt immediately. People have called for drastic measures to be taken. For instance, a state of emergency. And the president does not see it necessary. In fact, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources came out to say that it will be too draconian for a state of emergency to be called in that regard. But look at the urgency with which the president attacked the issue of our pitches not being legible for international matches. Then he quickly set his men to task. They had to deal with the Accra Sports Stadium. Then he personally called the CAF president and asked him to send a delegation to come and inspect the pitches. Now they say we can play our upcoming matches over there. So if the president has the might, the authority to get these things done, and he doesn't want any international disgrace, then it means that it is very intentional that he's decided to shut his eyes and ears to the issue of Galamsey. Philimon.
Yes, absolutely. Because, you see, organized labor, it's not today they started talking about Galamsey. They gave the president an ultimatum within which to act on the issue of Galamsey. Otherwise, they would strike. And throughout that period, I think about a month or so, the president was silent. He did not even engage them on it. For that 1 month ultimatum they gave him, act on it. He didn't do anything. He didn't have the courtesy to even engage. He did not. Only recently, the president of the Ghana Journalists Association spoke truth to power. He looked President Akuffo Addo in the face and said, Mr. President, you have failed. You told the people of this country you are putting your presidency on the line. You have failed. Your appointees are complicit in illegal mining. Your party, your government, went to lay an LI. An LI means a legislative instrument in Parliament. LIs are types of laws. They are a particular kind of law. But they don't go to the usual lawmaking process of first reading, second reading, debate, committee stage, and all of that. It doesn't go. LI doesn't go through that process. Once it is laid, after 21 days, it becomes law. And this LI was laid by this government. And the LI basically allowed for mining to happen in forest reserves. So does it suggest that this party is serious, this government is serious about the fight against corruption? Why would you in the first place make it legal for people to mine in forest reserves? Ask yourself, why? People of Ghana, why did Akuffo Addo sanction that LI be made to allow people? And we know that the licenses that have been given over the last, in fact, over the period of, it's about 80% of all licenses ever given in this country. Just within these 8 years of Akuffo Addo's government, 80% of all licenses to mine in Ghana were given during Akuffo Addo's tenure. Akuffo Addo's tenure. So the commitment to this fight has been zero. But you see, the president of the Ghana Journalists Association spoke to the president and told him he had failed. We expected that if there's a direct call on you by your children, because the president is the father of the land, so if we cry out to the president, there's an expectation that the president will listen. Whether or not the president will take what you have said is another matter. But at least let the people know that I have heard what you are saying. After the GJA president spoke, Mr. President did not even have the courtesy. He said, oh, I have heard you. Maybe give me a week. I'll address it. He was silent on the matter. My brother, when you know at the award ceremony, did you not hear the silence of the president on this matter?
In fact, he was even angry.
He was even angry. Look at his body language. And the guy then now, the body language suggested that he was angry that the president of the GJA had spoken about the matter of illegal Galamsey. Now, GJ, after giving organized labor, TUC, after giving an ultimatum for which you did not meet, have declared a nationwide strike. And you are now begging them that, oh, the economy is no good, and if they go on strike, the economy will collapse. Are we the reason? Did we make the economy fail? If we will fail the economy, you are the leader of the Ghana. You and Baumia. We are presiding over Ghana. It is your leadership that has led to the most absurd exchange rate we have ever witnessed in this country. It is under your leadership that Ghana's economy was rated as junk by Fitch. It is under your leadership that the bag of cement, which used to be 20-something cedis, is now 110 cedis. It is under your leadership that the prices of petrol is the highest ever we've paid in this country. It is under your leadership that we are paying so much in utility, water and electricity. It is under your leadership that the price of goods and services in this country are so high. Tomato, yam prices, price of tomatoes, prices of nido, milk, Milo in the market, all very expensive. Recently, children went to school, and if you listen to what parents were saying about how they had to buy Milo, 1 tin of Milo about 90 Ghana, something that used to about 15 cedis. It's now about 90 cedis. So the people of Ghana are not the reason why the economy of Ghana has failed. It is the leadership of Alhaji Bawumia, the leadership of Akuffo Addo, and the overall leadership of the NPP that has gotten us to where we are. So if you're now scared that the economy will collapse further if a strike happens, blame yourself. I call on organized labor. The people of this country look up to you. We look up to you to do what is right. We look up to you to be a voice, the only voice that Akuffo Addo can kowtow to. The last time organized labor threatened a nationwide shutdown, the president made a U-turn. You remember, just about 2-3 months ago. The sale of the hotel matter. When organized labor threatened, they did not end there. So organized labor, you have power. Let's show the NPP something. Let them know that we, the people of this country, are the bosses of the politicians. Let the Akuffo Addo and his government know that we, the people of this country, are the employers of he and his government. Let Akuffo Addo know that we have seen how they've become rich overnight. We have seen how members of his party are complicit in illegal mining in forest reserves. We know the example of the member of the MPP parliamentary candidate for Joape. We know that example. We know the example of Sampine, mayor of Kumasi, former regional secretary of the MPP in Ashanti region. We know Chairman Wontumi. All of these guys are mining in forest reserves. Meanwhile, it's claimed that the forest is getting bad. Only about 2 weeks ago, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources was in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, to receive some $20-something million, for them to come and, improve the forest reserves of this country. So while they are going around begging for money to come and invest into making our forest cover better, you are still polluting, cutting down trees, mining irresponsibly, becoming rich at the expense of you and I. I was saying something. There is possible that already, we may have drunk water or eaten fish or even bathed water that is mercury or lead, laced with mercury or lead. It is possible. Should we forgive Akuffo Addo for this? Can we forgive Akuffo Addo for this? Akuffo Addo has the luxury of importing water into Ghana for himself and his family. Courage, Doc, me, we do not have the capacity. The people of this country do not have the capacity. Yeah. And we love this country too much to allow the next 4 years be like the last 8. We love Ghana too much to allow that. We love Ghana too much to allow that. And I call on the people of this country, let's vote out the MPP. They are an existential threat to the peace, stability, and environmental sustainability of Ghana. Let me end on this point. We know that Ghana has acceded to several international treaties, and you've worked with the UN and all of that. You understand? We have acceded to several international treaties that mandate us to protect our forest cover. Not just for the local protection of Ghana, but for global biodiversity. Every country is required to maintain a certain forest cover so that we can help to protect the climate. Every year, they go for that COP conference. Ghana goes with over 1,000 delegates. You get the point? You go for all of these conferences and you don't learn that climate change is an important thing.
That's not the purpose for which they go there anyway.
But
So.
they go. They send over and give them allowances per diem and all of that, only to come back and do nothing.
They go to have fun.
Look at Achimota Forest, which is just nearby.
Yeah.
Do you know what's happening at Achimota Forest? Aside the fact that Sir John and Co will part of it to their... It is true. This LPP government, they sold part of it to their family and friends. But yet, you are crying. You see, Akuffo Addo, who has shown that he can give his daughters contracts, tells you that he doesn't care about the rest of us. Let's vote them out.
Thank you for watching. PENDREAM TV really appreciate your time. Please, if you have not yet subscribed as a new member, please do so for us. Hit the notification bell. Like and also share to other members to watch as well. Please, if you hit the notification bell, make sure you turn it to all posts so that you'll be the first to receive any latest updates that will hit the platform. Don't be the last person to hear what has happened. Please be the first hand information holder of the information on PENDREAM TV by turning on the notification bell. Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Se open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.